here we are at the US Open with my old friend, colleague and Hall of Famer Steve Flink covering the first day of the US Open.
But we also covered the second week, our first time working together in this capacity, 2011 Roland Garros French Open.
My God, I am impressed. I mean, with stats and numbers, Steve is unbeatable, and not only with numbers. So we have to talk about the 14 games that Serena Williams played versus Maria Sharapova, 6-1, 6-1. But before that, I want to remind you that at 9 o'clock in the evening, there were two seeded men who had lost. One was Fognini, number 11 with Opelka. The other one was Fritz, number 26 with Feliciano Lopez. And then there were also two seeded women, Kerber, number 14, losing to Mladenovic, and Garcia, number 27, losing to Jabeur. Steve, let's talk 1 second about Fognini and Opelka.
Well, obviously Opelka has, he's practically 7 feet tall, one of the biggest serves in the game. Beat Stan Wawrinka on the grass at Wimbledon this year, a big win there, and he's steadily improving. So it's not a bad loss for Fognini, but as you pointed out, Ubaldo, to have the exchanges that went more than between 7 and 9 strokes, was it?
Yes, they were 25 points each.
Yeah, and that makes no sense. Makes no sense.
Fognini said I should have won 40 out of 50, not 25.
He's right. I mean, he should have had the edge once the rally reached that stage. It should have been greatly to his advantage, and it was not. And that's obviously where he lost the match. The other real surprise to me is Kerber again. How does somebody who wins 3 majors lose so many matches to players, close ones, that are capable of beating her, but that she should be able to prevail against if she's at her best?
Yeah.
She sometimes gets way too down on herself.
Yeah.
I think a lot of this is in her head.
Yeah, probably so. What about, do you think that also for Maria Sharapova there is something on her head? I mean, when she loses 6-1, 6-1, or is just that, Serena is too much far superior?
Well, it's probably a combination. You think about it, Ubaldo, back in 2004 Wimbledon, Maria beat Serena in the finals. Then beat her again in the WTA championships at the end of that year. She's now lost to Serena 19 times in a row, going back to she had last beaten her in 2004. So it's really over a 15-year period.
Yeah.
19 in a row. That's pretty hard to erase from your memory, I think.
It is true, but for somebody who has been capable to win 5 slams,
yes, it's true,
playing more finals, to make only 2 games.
And as you notice very quickly on the stat sheet, she won 28 points. Serena won 56, twice as many.
Yeah.
It's a very decisive win, and obviously distressing for Sharapova. She's down at 87 in the world right now, Ubaldo. She's trying to get back somewhere in the region of the top 20, but this was a devastating defeat for her because it was so one-sided.
Yeah, she has been hiring Riccardo Piatti, the Italian coach, to help her after this summer. She was in the Elba Island and also in my hometown, Florence, for 12 hours.
Did she seek any of your advice?
No, she should, after what she did tonight.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Serena seems in great shape also physically this time. After
she looks good, you're right.
And after she retired, she had to withdraw in the previous match
in Canada. I mean, she was in the finals and she's playing Andreescu, and she was in tears afterwards. Andreescu consoled her, but that's the concern. Does another injury like that pop back up? Because Serena these days doesn't seem to stay healthy for too long at any one stretch. She needs to stay healthy the rest of this fortnight.
Okay, then we can just say that Novak Djokovic won with no problems at all today. Do you think he's a strong favorite of this tournament?
I do. He's the defending champion. He's won 4 of the last 5 majors, dating back to Wimbledon last year. He defended that crown earlier this summer in spectacular fashion, saving the 2 match points against Federer. And the only major that
Federer has not been sleeping since then.
No, I think he had
I've heard he's had nightmares.
I've heard he's had 5 hours sleep since Wimbledon. Total. No, but I mean, determined, obviously, to get closer to Nadal, eventually past Nadal, eventually past Federer. And here it is, Federer 20 majors, 18 for Nadal, 16 for Novak.
Yeah.
So this is a critical tournament for Djokovic in his chase for history.
You're right. You're right. And we are in chase for history also, myself and Steve Flink, because if we start in 2011, we should reach at least 2021.
I hope so. I mean, we have to have a 10-year anniversary.
Yeah.
And then from there, we try to keep going.
Okay. Thanks a lot to Steve Flink, my old friend, colleague, and Hall of Famer. See you tomorrow from the US Open in New York.